All right, so the objective of this video is to give you more information on how to build your project, the Tableau project. So I have created a folder here in Blackboard, which has the project description file, the database, and I have put 2 videos and the dashboard, what you guys have to make. So your final product should look like this. Not perfectly, but I want things which are in here, you should try to mimic this. You should be able to create this because this dashboard is created from the same data set. So I have made 2 changes. Well, actually just 1 change, and I want to give you some more information which can help you build your project. So if you go to Tableau project, this is first thing you have to be careful while submitting your final project file. So I have mentioned here the deliverable is a PDF document. So you guys should create a PDF document, and I will show you how to create a PDF document once you're done with your project. So once you have done everything what you want to do with the data set and you have built the dashboard, you have built all the worksheets, you should save your work in a PDF and upload it to Blackboard. You should also send me a Tableau project file. So this was initially TWB file, but actually it should be TWBX file. So you should save your work and you should make a project file. So it should be a TWBX file. So if, for example, this is your Tableau project. So this is the, if this is your final dashboard look like, this is just an example. You can have something totally different, but you should have the basic components, what I'm asking in the project. So if this is your file, you should export it in the end to send me to, so I can review it. You should save it as a PDF. Okay, you should save it. You should do a print to PDF, or you should save as PDF. And then you should do export as packaged workbook. So this is important. If you just send me, if you save it as and send me a file, TWB file, I will not be able to see the data because the data would be missing. So I want you to export it as a package workbook. So if you click export package, the extension, the file extension would be TWBX, and you will save it and upload this file in the end. So it will be something like this with your last name, and you will upload this on Blackboard. Another thing I want to give you in this project. So in the project, I'm asking you to look for mortality rate. So the data does not give you mortality rate. The data just gives you cases, number of cases, number of deaths over time, and total deaths. So if you go back to the data set, so we have cases, which has all the both type of cases. So there are 2 types. There are 2 types of cases, death and confirmed case. And this is like total cases. It's numeric total cases over time. And this is the difference. So difference is actual number of cases. So I will show you the difference between them. So for example, if I bring in class type, case type, it will give me 2 types, confirmed cases and deaths. And if I bring in cases, it puts me here total cases and total deaths. But this is a cumulative number. So what's happening here in cases is actually cumulative. For example, on first day, we have 5 cases. On second day, we have 2 more cases. But on second day, we will see number 7. Instead of 2, we will see number 7. So that is cumulative. So this variable is cumulative, always cumulative. And that's why we can build something like this using this variable, cases. But this number differences is like difference or just the cases on that date. So it's not cumulative. If we have, on the first day, if we have 5 cases, And second day, we have 2 cases. So we will see first 5, and in second row, 2 cases. If I take this out and bring in differences, it will be actually a very different number. So you see, it's a very smaller number. So this is actual number. These are the total cases, confirmed cases, and these are the total deaths. So if you're trying to build something, what are the total number of cases in a country? You should not be using cases. Instead, you should be using difference. For example, if I want to build case type and then by country. So here I have US, China, and many different countries. So these are the total cases in US, and these are deaths in US on the last day of the data extraction. Of course, right now, this number is much more higher, but we are just taking the last day is April 4th. So you should use cases whenever you have to compare number of cases in countries. But if you're talking about progression or going over time, cases would be just number of cases on that day, not including the previous day's cases. So the cases would be the right case in this kind of a thing when you're building progression, or when you're saying, okay, how many cases are there, or how many deaths over time. But when you're looking for just number of cases in a country, you should be using difference variable, not the cases. So this is the first basic difference. Second, if you go to the project, I'm talking about mortality rate. So mortality rate is different than number of deaths. Number of deaths are just the number, but mortality rate is like number of deaths divided by total number of cases. And we don't have this variable in our data set. So we don't have mortality in here. And how can we make that? We can make this by using calculated fields. So in Tableau, we can make more fields or more variables by using these fields, the older fields. So we can make more fields. So the first thing I would like to make is from the cases or from the differences, I will see how many confirmed cases are there, not just the deaths, because whenever I do differences, if I don't have case type here, it will just add them up. It will just add both of them. So, which is not correct. So we have to separate confirmed cases and separate the deaths. Once we have separated these things in 2 different fields, we can also find mortality rate. So I will show you how we can separate them in 2 different fields. So first thing I will do is I'll remove all of this, remove, okay. So this is my empty data set, empty sheet. And first thing I will do, I will make confirmed cases only. So I'm trying to make a variable called confirmed cases only. So I will go here, do a right click and do create calculated field. So this is a calculated field I can create. We have done this in Access. So we have, it's just like in Excel, you're creating a formula and then you're using other columns to create the formula. So I will do confirmed cases. And here I have to put my coding. How can I, so this is one example. I will show you confirmed cases. And the confirmed cases are coming from this one, but only the confirmed ones. So I will do if case type, so this is case type, is equal confirmed. So this is this variable, case type confirmed. If this is confirmed, then, so this is a little bit of coding in Tableau. So this is pretty simple code. Then use differences. This column measures differences. Else do this, else we have 0 and end. So this new column, confirm cases, will just have the number of cases which are confirmed from this difference column, but it will just take whenever there's a case type equal to confirm. Note that, so we are not taking that's in it. So I'll press OK. So this has created a new calculated field. So you can see that I have confirmed cases, total cases. This is total all over the world. It's not a summation over time. It is all over the world total cases. And that's 0 because this is just the cases. That's good. So this means this variable is correct. Second, we have to make another variable here called that's. Okay. Same thing we have to do. We have to do if case type equal that's, then take the differences. So take the values from here, from this column. Else, if it's not that or something else, then just put 0 and end. So this is my second column. So I have made 2 calculated fields. And also there's a small equal sign here. If you guys can see this, there's a small little equal sign. So this is showing that this field is a calculated field and this was not previously included in my data set. So if I put that's, so it's showing me this field, confirmed cases, it has just confirmed cases and 0 deaths, and this is deaths, 0 confirmed cases, and total deaths. This is good. This is pretty good. Let's clear the shelves, clear the shelf, because we are going to use it in a different way, this one. Third, we can also, now we have to calculate the mortality rate. So for example, if I have to create mortality rate, so mortality rate is, I'm doing sum of deaths. So I'm using this variable, which I have just made, divide by sum of confirmed cases multiplied by 100. So this will give me a ratio, and this will make it a percentage. So press OK. All right, so let's do now countries. So let's bring in countries. So I have data like this. So this is showing me that I have a record from each of these countries. So my data set have some records, but I have name of this country in my data. That's why there is a dot over there. And let's first bring in deaths and then bring in confirmed cases. So it's putting on top of each other. It's just putting on top of each other. We can actually make it a column. All right, so this shows confirmed cases and this shows that. We can change the order. So that's came first, and then we have confirmed cases. We can sort the data. All right, so we can sort. Right, I'm just trying to sort it perfectly. Okay, so we have total deaths in US, total confirmed cases, but where is the mortality rate? And we can also bring in mortality rate now, which is the ratio of these two columns. So I'll drop my, so mortality rate also came in. It's 2%, 12%. We can also, so let's sort this again, okay? And so this is actually mortality rate going on. We can also format this. So when I do formatting, this panes open up and I can do custom format and I can do 2 decimal places. Okay, so now this is 2 decimal places, and I can close my, so this is 2.43. So this is a mortality rate, and this is like Italy has a mortality rate of 12%. This is like, we all know it was so high at that time in Italy that it was around 12%. So out of 100 people, 12 people have died. So that's really high. So in this way, you can actually build a new column. We actually built 3 new columns: confirmed cases, deaths, and mortality rate. And we can see which countries have really high mortality rate. So if I start this, so for example, Sudan has 25%, but because they just have very few cases, and 2 out of 8 died. But some countries like Italy, again, has a really high realistic kind of a number. Syria, Gambia, 25%. So this is pretty high. But at that time, the US has 2.43 as a mortality rate. So in this way, you can build your own column. Further, we can also extend this. I can duplicate this slide, and now I have another slide just similar to this one, similar thing, but I just want to see something different. I want to see only the US mortality rate. For example, this is country. So here I am talking about in my that mortality rate, and you can also do mortality rate over time for sure. And you can also do USA. So mortality rate per country we just did, and we can also do USA. So for just for US, we can do mortality rate here. We can bring in country filters. So why don't I just bring in filter in country, and I will exclude all of them and just select US. Okay, so now I just have US. Second, I can go deeper, like I can go to province level. So I went to state level, and now this is just for US. So I have mortality rate just for US. So some state like this state has really high mortality rate, but the numbers are also very low. I think the real data is right now out there. If you guys want me to update the file, I can actually update the file, and you guys have to put in the file and everything will be updated. But if you see there, some states have really high mortality rate. Highest number of cases are actually in here, but the mortality rate is the national average. So it's not really high in New York. So this state is, you can actually rename mortality rate US, and this is mortality rate worldwide. So we have two slides just in 5 minutes. We are done with very new kind of visualization. You can put this in your dashboard, and in dashboard you can do different things. For example, in dashboard you can actually remove sometime you can hide these things. Like for example, you can hide the title. This can be sometime more convenient, hiding titles. So I'm just hiding titles. So just try to play with it and just try to make your unique dashboard. You can also share this dashboard on web, and you can share this with your friends. You can show them how this is unique, how this is different. You can get the new data set from online resource, and you can put the current data set and show it to your friends and family that you know this stuff. You can really do it by yourself, and how you are projecting and you're seeing how cases are coming in. So in the beginning, like you can see, their projection was like this, but then after some time it really peaked up. So now if now we have the data, it will be peaking up and then maybe slowing down again. So everyone's trying to flatten the curve. So you can see that maybe the curve will actually flat. The curve will become a normally distributed curve in future. So this was a short tutorial on how to create calculated fields using the original fields and how to find mortality rate using the data.